Hey folks, and welcome back to Max Nave Horsemanship again today. And I think I might actually upload this video along with, or the day after my last video that I did, because the subject matter is going to be much the same. And so I think the two of them kind of go together. In a recent video, I was talking about weather and how it affects training and what you do and don't see. I want to talk a little bit more about that, specifically with my own videos. Because, well, you're not actually getting to see what's really going on. There's a lot of stuff you do and don't see. Now, I typically upload one video a week. That's kind of a normal thing. But it doesn't mean I only work with the horses one day a week. Although sometimes, depending on the weather, that might just be all we can achieve. But you don't always see what's going on, because even on days where it might be inclement enough that we are not going to try and do a video, that doesn't mean I don't work with the horses. So you don't see that stuff, and much of that is actually repetition of things we've already done. I've already shown you. And, well, I don't want to bore the socks off you with doing the same thing over and over and over hundreds of times, because that is an important factor. I've mentioned this many times, that you have to repeat things over and over and over and over to make them really good. It's something that you just have to do. But I also want to talk a little bit about YouTube and, well, things that they've been doing. And not just to me, because I've seen some really bad things happening to other channels too. So, and some of this information might actually help you out a little bit. So please bear with me and hear me out to the end on this one. I'm going to try and keep it kind of short as much as I can. But, well, and of course, back to the weather. You can see I'm in the barn today. Yeah, well, there's a reason for that, because it's not nice out. There's no sun, it's extremely windy, occasional rain, and the temperature's not even all that warm. As you can see, I'm wearing a coat today. So, not a nice day outside at all, and so I thought this would be far better to do a video in here, because there isn't a chance I could do one outside because of the wind alone. It would really mess up the audio and probably blow my camera right over. And, well, that has happened before, so I don't want that happening again, because that does damage when things go bang. Yeah. Anyhow, with YouTube, for those of you that are seeking to, well, have an independent income other than a 9-to-5 job, and this has happened a lot, is a lot of people will actually quit their day job and be full-time YouTubers. And, well, that is not a bad thing entirely, and I understand why they do it. And by the way, it's not all bed of roses. There's a lot of work involved, and, you know, a lot of people, depending on the content and the level of editing they do and things like that, it may take them a better part of that week to actually make that video. So what you see once a week for an hour or hour and a half or whatever, depending, it might take them the better part of a week to make that video that you're watching. And unfortunately, even though it is a full-time job doing it, and a lot of work goes into it, some of them lately have not been getting paid well for it. And, well, that's one of the problems with depending on YouTube for your income, is it's not like you can just walk down the hall to the HR department and say, hey, why was my paycheck so small this week? That doesn't always happen. No. In one case, there's a guy, he actually quit his job and became a full-time YouTuber. And I know for a fact, I've watched his channel enough that he does a lot of work. And very hard work. He puts a lot of effort into his videos. He tries to be creative and does an incredible amount of editing. And all of a sudden, one month, his check from YouTube was $200. And like I said, you know, it's not like you can just walk down the hall to HR and say, hey, what's going on? No, you have to email back and forth, and, well, they generally don't give a crap and might take their sweet time getting back to you. And if there's some kind of a dispute, it may involve lawyers that you can't afford, and they can, because YouTube's owned by Google. Google owns Chrome, Gmail, and well, Google happens to be one of the bigger companies in North America at the moment, if not the biggest. I don't know for sure. They're up there though, and you don't want to get into a fight with them because you're probably not going to win. It's like getting into a fight with a 1,000-pound gorilla. Not going to go over well. And I have seen a number of times where, another example, just recently, actually about a week ago, somebody posted a video about a video that they had done that actually got blocked by YouTube. They weren't even allowed to upload it. And their accusation was that they infringed on copyright because of the music they used in their video. But they had actually used music that was supplied by YouTube itself. So that's supposed to be copyright-free stuff that you don't have to worry about. But they actually blocked his video, wouldn't even let him post it, because he had used music that was a copyright infringement. It was their music. They used it. So, and you can't really do much about a company the size of YouTube. And well, the parent company and well, whatever. I don't know how many other affiliations there are, how many other companies are owned within or outside of. It's crazy, but I'm just going to talk a little about my channel. Now, to date, I have not gotten a penny from YouTube, and I have been making content for somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 years now. A substantial length of time, and I've seen other channels with similar content and much poorer audio and video that have taken off within 6 months, or even less maybe, that they started making money on them. I'm not. Why is that? It just doesn't even make sense. And I know that YouTube is messing with me. And there's two things I know for a fact that they're doing or have been. The one I think they stopped doing, but they switched their tactic to something else now. I watched one thing that was absolutely not possible to happen is the number of views per video went down. I watched on several of my videos where the number of views actually went down. And while that's simply not possible to happen, and it was obvious that they were doing this because it happened on several, this just didn't happen on one or two videos. It was quite a few of them I saw this going on. So I know they were messing with me. And like I said, that's not even possible to go backwards on your number of views. It just can't happen. And well, that seems to have stopped. But now they're doing something different too that, well, actually I think they've been doing it for a while because I noticed my watch time going down. My number of subscribers is still going up. I'll get to that in a minute because there's a little catch there too. But my watch time, which is how they pay you, if you've got enough watch time, they are obligated to pay you according to the terms and conditions. Yeah. Well, you have no way of proving other than what they tell you. And here's what was happening. My watch time was consistently going down for a considerable period of time. For a couple years, I watched it going down, which didn't make any sense at all. And then just recently, within just a couple of weeks, it was like, it dropped dramatically to the point of it's ridiculous. It's not even possible that it could be that low. Because I looked at the number and I thought, this is crazy. It can't be right. No way. So just doing some rough calculations, I added up the number of views on my recent videos because it's based on the number of views or the watch time over a period of the past year. Now, just based on, I didn't go back many years. I just said, okay, just in the past year, just the videos I've uploaded in the past year alone, and the views on them. Well, what they say I've got for watch time isn't even half of what I should have just for the recent videos. Not to mention all the older ones that are probably getting some views too, because people still occasionally watch the older ones. I actually have one that has in excess of 10,000 on it. I think that one slipped through the cracks somehow, but yeah, it's like there's over 10,000 views on one of my videos, and that one has always continued going up for some reason. And yet, my watch time right now is like 600 hours. Yeah, well, actually, it's a little over that, but it's less than half of what I should have, even if the only views, if the only videos that people ever watched were the ones that I've posted in the past year, then I should still have at least double that, at least. So I know they're messing with me. Why? I have no idea. Well, I'll get to that in a minute, because this is something else you might want to know about too, is there are things that YouTube does not like. Now, there's something else too that, now this is one I cannot prove, but I suspect highly that this is going on too, is something called shadow banning. And this is something that I've heard of. I can't prove. You know, it's one of those things that are really hard to prove, but I suspect strongly that this is what's going on, is I've been shadow banned. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's where they don't outright kill your channel, but they just make it extremely difficult for people to find it. Subscribers won't get notifications. If you try searching for the channel, it's very hard to find. And I know that I have even looked for my own channel using searches, and it's very hard to find. And well, my other channel, I got a second channel too, and that was almost impossible to find. So what's going on there? Why is it so hard to find my own channel? Unfortunately, my own channels, I have them bookmarked so that I can just click on that and go directly. So I can still find my own channels, but for those of you that don't have me bookmarked, it might be difficult. You might not be able to find my channels. Well, anyhow, that's just one of the many things that can happen, is you get shadow banned. And I know that a lot of people are not getting notifications. And well, I've had that happen to me too. There's several channels that I've subscribed to, and I know how to do it properly. So, and yet I've never gotten a notification from those channels. And I'm pretty sure they're making content, and it got to the point where I'm not going to go search out every single channel I've ever subscribed to just to see whether or not there's something there, although I probably should do that if it's anything worth watching. And I hope that some of you do that too, because even just recently I had somebody make a comment, oh, nice to see you're still making videos. I've never stopped. Aside from a little pause there where I didn't upload every week for a little while, that was very briefly, but typically I upload a video a week. If you're not getting notified, that's one of those things that happens, is people that are subscribed don't always get notifications. If you don't subscribe properly, well, that can sometimes cause that too. But also, even if you're subscribed properly, if YouTube decides, yeah, we don't want to tell these people about you, well, that's what happens. You don't get notifications. So I do videos upload weekly, so feel free to check back. I usually upload on Fridays, so check back once a week and see what I got. There might be something worth watching. And so anyhow, that's my rant on YouTube, is, well, they can choose who lives and dies. And I've seen it happen. I've seen, channels that have had great success within months. And, well, then there's ones like my own that, I've been making quality content for close to 12 years now, and I still have not gotten a single penny from YouTube. And although I'm not necessarily interested in replacing my full-time job with YouTube, because I think that'd be a poor risk, but especially considering the things I've seen lately. So it's not about the money. It's not about the fame. At least I would like to get paid for my efforts, for the time that I put into these videos, and the equipment that I have to purchase out of my own pocket. I mean, right now, literally, my tripod is held together with wire, literally. I have, let's see, 4 pieces of wire right now on that tripod holding it together so that you get a video. And I know tripods themselves are not horribly expensive, but at this point, considering if I thought there was a future in it, I'd go out and buy one. But if I'm not even going to get paid enough to be able to justify buying one, well, what's the point in doing that? I'll just keep using this one that's held together with wire until It simply can't hold itself together anymore. Anyhow, that's my rant, but those are things to watch for. Just because you're not getting notifications doesn't mean I don't do videos, doesn't mean you're not subscribed. Well, that's another little trick that they do too. Apparently people get unsubscribed for some reason. I don't know how that works. Sometimes maybe it's just a glitch in the system too, that when they're making upgrades that it doesn't always carry over and you're no longer subscribed to the channel that you thought you were. Things like that can happen. So I hope some of this information, first off, if you're, to kind of summarize is, don't plan on using YouTube as an income. It's a very risky proposition. It may or may not work. And there's never any guarantees. And from one month to the next, you may all of a sudden get next to nothing. Or at any given time, they can choose to delete your channel, which is about the only thing they haven't done to me yet. Now, I was going to mention one other thing too, is one of the things YouTube does not like is ad blockers, because they get their revenue from ads. So it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't want you using something that stops ads. Now, well, considering that on this channel I'm not getting anything anyhow, and that's kind of what it's based on, is how many views and the ads that they can run and such pay you. If you choose to use an ad blocker, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not going to lose anything. Although, if you do use an ad blocker, it doesn't count towards views. They know when you're using one. Your computer actually hands out an awful lot of information, probably a lot of information you don't want them to have, but they will know what kind of operating system you're using, the type of computer, the browser you're using, etc. And they know if you're using an ad blocker. Your computer will tell every website you go to all this information. And, well, that's one of those scary things. And so they don't like ad blockers. And if you use an ad blocker, when you watch a video, it won't count as a view. Which, like I said, in the case of mine, I'm not getting anything anyhow, so I don't really care. It doesn't really matter what you do. But just to let you know, if people are using ad blockers, their views don't count as views. They don't get added up. The other thing is, YouTube is owned by Google. Google being, of course, as I've said before, one of the biggest companies out there. Well, and they also have Gmail and Chrome and, well, anyhow, I don't use Chrome as a browser. They probably don't like that. Although I have turned off my ad blocker for YouTube. Hopefully that would help, but apparently it hasn't. And so, again, I don't use Chrome, and I don't use Google as a search engine. I have a different one I use that is a little more privacy-friendly, shall we say. And so I suspect those are the only two things left that I can think of that I'm doing that they might not like, is they don't like the browser I'm using and they don't like the search engine. Other than that, I'm doing everything by the book. There's no offensive material. Apparently they automatically will stop you from posting a video that has certain words. You're not allowed to mention certain words. I'm not even going to bother listing them, but apparently there are certain words they don't like. There's a lot of stuff involving certain topics they don't like, and they will prevent you from either demonetize you or block it altogether. I don't know what they do, because I've never run into those problems, because I'm fairly careful with what I do, and most of what I do is a fairly benign topic. We're not going to get into things involving animal abuse or anything like that. And I am family friendly. I don't swear in my videos. I don't swear much anyhow, unless I hit my hand with a hammer. That would make just about anybody swear. Other than that, I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not doing anything wrong, and I don't know, other than the last two things, which is the browser and the search engine I'm using, those are the only two things left that I haven't changed, and I probably won't. Although I'm considering experimenting with that and trying to see if it does make a difference, but yeah, who knows? That may take a while. I don't know how long before they change up what they're doing to me because of what I'm doing. Anyhow, hope some of this information is helpful to you and explains to you that you have to actually be a little bit proactive when it comes to searching for channels that you're supposedly subscribed to but not getting notifications from, or if you happen to have a YouTube channel, be aware that this stuff can happen, okay? So that's about it for today. Again, go back to the horses. There's stuff going on out there you don't see. And even on days it's too miserable to be doing a video, I might still be out there working with the horses. Today it's miserable enough I might not again, but tomorrow's looking a lot better, so I think tomorrow I'm probably going to be outside playing with the horses. So anyhow, hope this helps you a bit, and stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully you get a little bit more horsey content, which is what I would prefer to be doing. But I just thought I needed to do a little rant on this stuff and enlighten you as to what's going on. Just because I get next to no views on my videos, that in no way reflects the quality of content or the subject matter or any of that. That's just games that YouTube are playing. And there should be thousands and thousands of views on each video. There are not. But still, my videos, I believe, are well worth watching, and I sure hope you take the time to watch them, and I hope I see you on the next one. In the meantime, have a good day, and go play with your ponies. Bye now.